The Emmys are this Sunday, and as the countdown continues, with the Creative Arts Emmys behind us, let's hear your predictions, Mike, for who's going to be a big winner this Sunday.
Well, the big winner over the Creative Arts weekend was Game of Thrones. No surprise, right? They
10,
had
right?
10 awards over the weekend, and that's just the beginning. So they have 32 nominations all told. So I predict a pretty strong sweep of Game of Thrones heading into the big show, leading to that final award, which is Best Drama. And all signs point to Game of Thrones picking that up. And after the Creative Arts Emmys, it's even more obvious. Voters still love the show, even if fans weren't necessarily loving that final season.
With the finale.
I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If the voters love it, then that's what's going to win the Emmy.
But what do you think has room for a surprise here? Are we looking at Pose, Killing Eve, Succession, which has been very big this current season?
Yeah, what a shocker that would be if Succession actually won. And it did win the theme song, by the way, at the Creative Arts, which was pretty exciting. Killing Eve is sort of considered probably the biggest spoiler, but I don't think it's a real spoiler. People do love that show. They felt that maybe the second season wasn't quite as explosive as the first. It wasn't quite as new. So although it has its fans, and Pose is a tremendous show and has its fans as well, I don't think any of them are quite big enough to rise to the occasion. Now, on the actor side, that's where you might see some surprises. For the longest time, people were talking about maybe Jason Bateman from Ozark picking it up, or of course, sentimental favorite Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul, who better win one of these days. But now you got Pose coming in with Billy Porter, who's having an amazing year.
Yeah,
and I think
a lot of buzz this year.
Yeah, and not only on the show, but also you saw him at the Oscars, doing that pre-show, just killing it.
Yeah.
He's directing a play in Boston. He's got new music out. This guy seems to be everywhere right now. And so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he came up and actually went past those two guys and picked up the Best Actor.
Who else could sneak in for an upset?
On the actress side, honestly, we're all thinking Sandra Oh will make history, which would be fantastic, and I still think that's likely. But you do have her co-star, Jodie Comer.
Right.
And again, they're both so great in Killing Eve.
Do you think there's a potential for them to cancel each other out?
Potential to cancel each other out, and then you might have Emilia Clarke sort of sneak in. If, again, Game of Thrones is just killing it and picking up all the Emmys, then she may sort of slide on by. So we'll see. Comedy-wise, comedy's interesting.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see a Fleabag upset here?
I'm starting to feel that way.
A lot of people are rooting for it.
Fleabag was fantastic. Now, I'm a sentimental Veep fan. Love Veep from the beginning.
Sure, last season.
And Veep deserves all the awards in my book. As long as that show's alive. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus deserves all those Emmys. But Fleabag was fantastic, and I think the buzz was happening right at the right time, right when people were voting.
To give voters notice.
Yeah. And so I would not be shocked if Phoebe Waller-Bridge actually went up on stage for a big comedy win. Veep has won a lot of awards, so they've
had their time in the spotlight.
They've got plenty of statues at home, so ain't mad at it. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, could be another one. It won last year.
And certainly had a huge campaign behind it this year.
Stop traffic. Got on the 11 o'clock news thanks to Maisel Day. People were talking about it. And it's a sentimental favorite inside the TV Academy, partly because it's a show about show business. It's nostalgic. It hits a lot of those boxes that voters love. So,
what do you think about Barry?
Barry, who doesn't love Barry? But when you have all these 800-pound gorillas, all these titans of series, Barry's going to have to wait its turn.
Okay, so odds are long on Barry. And then let's go down to the actor categories.
Yeah.
When we drill down there, what are you seeing? Who do you think's the favorite? What do you think is going to be a potential upset there?
Well, speaking of Barry, Bill Hader, who won last year, I think will repeat. So, I think that's pretty much a given at this point. So Barry's still getting its love. And that includes supporting actor.
Sure, Henry Winkler.
Yeah, Henry Winkler. Who doesn't love Henry Winkler? Best, nicest guy in Hollywood. So he should probably pick up a second one, although that's a stacked category as well. Alan Arkin is another fantastic actor from Kaminsky Method. So on the comedy actor side, Michael Douglas
comedy actress?
Could upset. Comedy actress, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. End of story.
You think it's a lock for her?
It's a lock. It's a lock. Not only is she a sentimental favorite, what she went through with her health, taking a year off. She's recovered. She's so iconic. This will go down as one of the biggest roles in TV history, period, playing President Selena Meyer.
Right, so, and she gets a lot of love, obviously. But if we had to look at a potential upset for that category, who do you think might it be?
Then probably Rachel Brosnahan,
from
second
Maisel.
in line. She won last year because Julie Dreyfus wasn't eligible. But you do have Phoebe Waller-Bridge as well.
That's right.
And again, if people are feeling
She's
the
the talk
Fleabag,
of the town right now.
yeah, you could go that route as well. So those are the three to look at for a comedy actress.
All right, and then let's take a look at limited series. Is it a lock for When They See Us, or do you think there are any other series like Chernobyl that have a chance?
Chernobyl did very well at the Creative Arts Emmys.
That's right.
So clearly there's a fan base for that. I think, folks like Jared Harris, the star of Chernobyl, will probably do quite well at Emmy Sunday. But When They See Us, it's such an important series, and it's so well done. It's so emotional and gripping, and especially in this age that we live in, I think a lot of voters will really gravitate toward that. So I have a hard time not seeing Ava DuVernay up on stage on Sunday night. I think it's pretty well established, but it's a stacked category, like many others. So you've got Chernobyl, you got Fosse Verdon, you got Escape at Dannemora. It's a great category. It's a tough one, but I think When They See Us, we'll pull through.
Any other major categories we should keep an eye on at this stage?
Well, unfortunately, the dullest categories are in the talk and the reality, because it's the same nominees every year, and it's mostly the same winners every year.
Who are nominees in the talk category?
So talk, you've got, of course, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, perennial winner ever since Daily Show went off the air, and it'll continue to be so. So it's a great lineup of people, but there isn't a lot of shows shaking things up. Same with reality, same with the competition category. RuPaul's Drag Race has sort of become the new dominant show in that category, and it will continue to win. Great show, ain't mad at it, but there's not a lot of imagination when it comes to the voters picking new nominees. I hope that starts to change.
So you don't think anyone's going to sneak by
I
in
don't
either
think
of those
so.
categories?
I don't think so, not this year.
All right.